Hey guys, Angry Monkey here to talk about Matsuricon, an anime convention I went to from Friday, August 11th to Sunday the 13th in Columbus, Ohio. So I just want to spend the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or half hour or whatever, just talking about what the convention is, what I did, and show some footage, show what I got, and all that stuff. So I got there around 10:30 on Friday, and so I had like a lot of time to kill before panels started around noon. So the first panel I went to was Everything One Piece at 11:45, which basically just went over the Straw Hats themselves and the panelists like, "Oh, this is this member and my favorite part with this character and all that stuff." And just a fun One Piece discussion. There were some spoilers, but oh well. Nothing too significant, I guess. Then I went over to speed friending at 1:15, which I've done speed friending before at another convention, and that was a lot more fun than this one, where that one focused a lot on just making friends and try to get you out of your comfort zone and all that stuff. This one was, hey, make friends for 5 minutes and then play some games. I'm like, I'm out. Then I went over to directing anime with Tony Oliver and Bridget Hoffman. For those who are wondering, Tony Oliver did Lupin and Lupin the Third, and Okiura and Bleach, Minato and Naruto. And then Bridget Hoffman is known for Lane and Serial Experiments Lane, and the adult version of Nia from Gurren Lagann is a couple examples there. So that was at 3:30. And then at 5:15, I was at Do a Barrel Roll, which was a 30th anniversary of Star Fox, which I want to spend the next few minutes talking about that because, I mean, it's a video game channel here, and, well, it's a video game panel. So, yeah, Star Fox started in 1993. It's 30 years old already? Like, man, where's the time gone? Yeah, so we actually had some volunteers go up and play the first level of the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo. He talked about like the graphics chip and all that stuff, and what it was like to play Star Fox and the history of the making of it and stuff. Then he showed some footage of the second Star Fox game, which was unreleased for so many years. It was going to come out in 1995, I think, but thanks to it constantly being set back, and then eventually it got set back to the point where they're like, you know what, the 64 is coming out in like 6 months or a year or whatever. Why don't we just like scrap this idea and build a Star Fox game for the 64? So that's what they did, and actually had Star Fox 64. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So Star Fox 2 was eventually released publicly and legally on the Switch Online and on the Super Nintendo Mini console. And I thought that was really neat and definitely a lot better than the original, obviously, where you can choose your own adventure, kinda. So you have some missiles that are coming towards you, and you gotta like, okay, so do I want to go to a planet? Do I have time to destroy these missiles? Like, what's the thing there? So it was kind of cool, and it actually like saves your spot, unlike the original, and I guess kind of unlike 64. But yeah, that was kind of cool, and I'm like, I really want to play Star Fox 2 now. Obviously, I'm always down to play 64 as well because 64 is like a classic. I'm terrible at it, but it's a fun game anyway. Which, by the way, guys, let me know if you want to see some Star Fox on the channel. I mean, I've got the original, I've got 64, I've got the GameCube ones, I've got the Wii U ones. Speaking of which, the GameCube ones, he didn't have a GameCube, I guess, to show the GameCube ones, but Star Fox Adventures, which was made by Rare and was the last game that Nintendo made with Rare before Rare was bought out by Microsoft, and was kind of like this weird mix of Star Fox but also Banjo Kazooie in a way, because it was going to be a different game like Dinosaur Planet or something, and those characters were like, hey, these little wolf creatures look a lot like Fox McCloud, so why don't we just retool these characters and turn this brother and sister into Fox McCloud and Crystal, which became, well, that was kind of the furry favorite of the 2000s, I guess. And then you had Star Fox Assault, which was kind of more back to the basics Star Fox, which for some reason a lot of people don't like Assault. I don't know why. I've not really played Assault. I have it. I just haven't played it because I don't play video games. I only collect them. That's a joke, but it's there's a lot of truth to it. Anyway, then the last one he showed was Star Fox Zero on the Wii U and Star Fox Guard, I guess. But yeah, a lot of people didn't like Star Fox Zero. I don't know why I have it, but I haven't played it because what I just said. But it was really cool to see how these Star Fox games have evolved over the years and what worked and what didn't work and all that stuff. I just want to spend a few minutes talking about Star Fox here. Like I said, guys, if you want to see Star Fox played on the channel, I've got the original, I've got 64, I've got Adventures and Assault, I've got Zero, I've got Guard, I've got like all the big console Star Fox games. So yeah, let me know if you want to see one of those on the channel. Next, after that, another video game panel was Resident Evil: A History, which I thought was going to be similar to the previous panel, where it's just going over the history of the Resident Evil series, but they went in a different direction here and went with the chronological story of Resident Evil, like in-game universe stuff. And I thought that was really interesting, which I think I would appreciate a little bit more if I had more knowledge of the Resident Evil series. It's a series that I enjoy seeing gameplay of and the bits that I've played. Like I've played some at a friend's house and stuff like that, but I've not really had enough time to sit down and actually play it myself. Mostly because I'm like, hey, this would be really cool to play on the channel, so why don't I go into this blind for the channel? So yeah, I haven't really played a lot of Resident Evil games, but I'd love to. Next at 8:15 was anime disaster dates, which was like, okay, so you have an anime character, and here's like green flag, and red flag. Would you date this character before you know who the character is? Sometimes you can guess. Other times you're like, huh, I wonder who this character is. Oh, yeah, okay, I know. No, I'm not dating that character, or yeah, I'll make it work. Stuff like that. So it was kind of fun. Next was Pokemon Trivia at 9:15. I want to spend a few minutes talking about this one too because again, it's video game related kinda, and I just had a lot to say about this one. So the panelists didn't show up until like the last 15 minutes of it. So we're like, is this canceled? No, we actually had some people that were going to just be sitting in the audience go up on stage to present the questions to the rest of us. So instead of the normal every man for himself kind of thing, we split up into two teams of Team Scarlet and Team Violet. I was on Team Scarlet, which I kind of feel like I'm betraying Violet, which was my first pick in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but whatever. Then the panelist actually did come in, apologize for being late. He's like, hey, I actually have some prizes if you guys are interested. And we're like, yeah. So he's like, well, I don't have enough prizes for everybody, so why don't you guys have somebody come up to represent your team, and then out of those, I'll give prizes. So it came down to me and another guy for Team Scarlet, and then same for Team Violet. And the only reason why I wasn't the representative is because I lost to rock paper scissors. So I missed out on the Mimikyu plush that the gentleman that beat me rock paper scissors got, as well as the grand prize, which was a master ball that lit up, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So naturally, this gentleman thanked me for helping Team Scarlet out as much as I did, because I was the one that answered like more than half the questions. Because, well, if you've been around on this channel, you'll know. I mean, if you know, you know. So he gave me a few of these really cool Pokemon cards to kind of like, hey, thanks for helping me. Which, by the way, if you're watching this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm sure you already did. I know that I got a couple subscribers after that day because they're like, oh, cool, you have a hour and a half long video about Pokemon nostalgia from the 90s? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, cool, I want to watch that. I'm like, all right. So you guys might already subscribe. I don't know. If you haven't, don't forget to. Same with anybody else watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, good time to do it. So, yeah, that was probably one of my favorite panels from the convention. The last one that I did on Friday was at 10:45 was Asian Horror Clip Fest, which I actually saw part of at either OhioCon or Matsuricon last year, but I didn't get a chance to see all of it, so it was nice to see the entire panel, where it was just horror movies from Japan, China, Thailand, Vietnam, whatever, just Asian horror movies, and showing like a clip from it on how they do horror movies, and it's kind of different from how they do it versus how we do it. So it was kind of cool to just see new horror movies that I've never seen before. I enjoy horror movies. I have a scary movie marathon in person every year, so I'm like, all right, yeah, let's see some horror movies, maybe some things to potentially show at the party, stuff like that. Yeah, anyway, so we were pretty much done by like 11:30, which is really unusual for Friday, because usually on Fridays and Saturdays, I got stuff going on until like 1 or 2 a.m. So the fact that I was done before midnight was kind of unusual, but it was a nice way to get some rest before the big day on Saturday. So, yeah, I got up around like 7:30 a.m. on Saturday, basically just enough time to get to Pokemon Math at 9 a.m., which was kind of cool. It was talking about like the stats and the stat breakdowns and how to like build your Pokemon to be a competitive battler, using formulas and all that stuff, and how that stuff worked in Gen 1 versus how it worked in Gen 2, Gen 3, all the way up to Gen 9. And there's so much involved. Like, guys, if you think that Pokemon is like a kid's game or something, no, you have no idea. There is so much involved to build your perfect Pokemon. It's crazy. So yeah, that was about a half hour panel talking about Pokemon Math at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Then at 10 a.m. was the VIP autograph session, which I met some really cool voice actors and got some really cool autographs as well. So I got Tony Oliver to sign a Lupin picture here. I also got to meet J. Michael Tatum, who was Ervin in Attack on Titan, and Scar from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I had so many other things I could have had him sign, but I'm like, these two are enough. Last time I met him, I had him sign for Space Dandy, My Hero Academia, and Steins Gate. Obviously, I had to get Okabe in there at some point, which I almost got another Okabe autograph. I'm like, let's get some stuff I don't have yet. I also met Bridget Hoffman. I got her to sign Nia from Gurren Lagann. She was the adult version of Nia, basically the time skip. And Lane from Serial Experiments Lane. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I got both those autographs. That was really cool. Brandon McInnes was Sir Night-Eye in My Hero Academia. I almost had him sign a Finral thing as well, which I thought, no, I want to get the perfect Black Bulls thing and have all the Black Bulls sign it. I think that'd be really cool, because I could have had Tatum sign for Fuegoleon as well, but I'm like, let's focus on that some other time. So yeah, I hope they come back soon, because I got a lot more autographs for them to sign. Rika Fajardo, I had him sign Taiju from Dr. Stone and Togata from My Hero Academia. And back to Dr. Stone, I also had Brittany Latta sign for Yuzuriha in Dr. Stone, as well as Rico from Maiden Abyss. Kirk Thornton, I had him sign for Shadow the Hedgehog and Kisame from Naruto, which another thing, I hope Kirk comes back soon, because I have this idea of a picture of all the Akatsuki and have all the Akatsuki sign over their character. I think that'd be really cool. But I guess for now, I have this really cool Kisame picture, which I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's really cool. So I guess for now it's fine. And the last one I want to talk about is Chris. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. But he was in Danganronpa, which I almost had him sign something for Danganronpa, but I'm like, nah, he's Avdol in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I gotta have him sign for that. So I got that autograph. So I got a lot of autographs here, and they're all really great. A lot of great people I met, and like I said, I hope they all come back soon, because well, I mean, they were just really cool people, and I got more things for them to sign. So, yeah, if any of you voice actors that were there at Matsuricon are watching this, thank you for coming to Matsuricon, and I hope you guys come back soon. And some of those I didn't meet, I hope you guys come back soon. I'm sure I'll have things for you guys to sign as well. Then I went to One Piece According to 4Kids. That was done by Yui Senpai. Yui's done this 4Kids thing a few times, but it's always a fun panel to watch. Basically going over the history of One Piece when it was dubbed by 4Kids and all the censors that 4Kids did. It's just a fun, enjoyable panel. So thank you, Yui, for hosting that, and I'm excited to see some of your panels at possibly OhioCon in January. I'm assuming you'll be there. Then next was Ugh Ga Oof, the Art of Anime Reactions with Tony Oliver, which, I mean, that name kind of explains it all. I mean, it's just the reactions of anime characters. There's that kind of sound that could either mean that they're happy or sad or angry or whatever, and it works for all those. And it was a fun panel. Next was Anime Under the Radar at 4:15, which, as the name implies, we talk about some anime that you might not have talked about or heard about, and there were prizes if you've heard of them, which, well, most of them I haven't heard of, so it was pretty cool. Next was You'll Catch a Cold, the Sick episode. That was at 5:30. I'm sure you guys know, in plenty of slice of life anime, there's always an episode where one of the characters gets sick, and everybody's just lost without that character because like, oh man, what are we gonna do? So and so's sick, and just it's just a weird trope, but it was fun to just break that trope down, and it was a fun panel. Next was Name That Anime from Reviews and Statements. That was at 7:30, and that was also one of my favorite panels. We're in teams, and you have to guess the anime based off of some random review off the internet. And we have three guesses. The first guess was very vague. The second guess was worth less points, but a little bit more specific. And then the third guess was pretty obvious. Oh, yeah, okay, that's what this is. And so it's broken down 5 points for the first guess, 3 points if you got it right on the second choice, and then 1 point if you got it on the third guess. Yeah, that was one of my favorite panels there. That was a lot of fun. Went to Ghost Pepper's Spicy Comedy Hour, which was also the Star Fox panelist. It wasn't that funny or spicy. So, yeah. Then next was the WTF with J. Michael Tatum, which was going to be like at 6 p.m., but they moved it to like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. or something. And that was also hilarious. He actually had to get like a special room because they knew that one was going to be packed, and it was pretty packed. Uh, yeah, so I unfortunately had to cut out a little bit early because I wanted to watch the most famous anime around the world. That was at 10, talking about anime from the Philippines and Brazil and Mexico and France and Italy, and most of those countries like mecha, which was kind of interesting. And they're like mecha shows from like the 80s that I've never heard of, but it was pretty cool. Last one I went to on Saturday was How to Survive Slashers for Dummies, which that was at 11, and unfortunately I couldn't really hear the panelists because the one guy didn't have a microphone, and there were people in the audience behind me that were talking louder than the panelists, so it was kind of hard to hear. So I didn't get much out of that one. I'm sure I would have enjoyed it had I been able to hear them. So anyway, we finished that one. It was about 11:45, maybe midnight, and went back to the hotel room, get ready for Sunday, which was pretty weak, I gotta say. Usually Sunday is the weakest day, and naturally it all ends at like 4, but I was kind of done by like 1, and I only went to 2 panels, but they were still pretty cool. I went to the greatest cartoon intros of all time, which actually was focusing on American animation from mostly the 80s, sometimes into the 90s, but just really iconic cartoon intros like that gets you hyped for uh, the show on probably Saturday morning or whatever. And I'm like, these are some pretty cool intros, and I'm like, I kind of want to check out some of these shows now just because of the intros. It was really fun. And then I went to the second half of Traveling to Japan 101 with Natalie Hoover, who is a Danganronpa voice actor. Uh, and basically what it's like to travel to Japan, answering some questions while she stayed in Japan, and some of the stuff that she's learned, just passing her knowledge on to anybody else who might be interested in going to Japan. So that was a pretty cool panel too. So then I guess after that I went through the vendor hall one more time, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's time to start heading home. So I want to go through some cosplay pictures first, and then I guess show what I got. So cosplays that I got a really cool Jinbei cosplay from One Piece, obviously. Finral from Black Clover. There's always a Master Roshi there. Got this guy riding a chicken. Random, but I love it. I got to see some Trigun cosplays there, like this Vash and Millie. Then I got to see this really cool group that was a group cosplay of Chainsaw Man. During the One Piece panel, I met this Boa Hancock cosplayer, as well as this Luffy with 2 Bartolomeos there. Next, I went to a 999/Zero Escape photo shoot. I only stuck around there for a few minutes just to see who all would show up, which I only got to see like 4 people, so there were like 2 Santas, as well as a Junpei, obviously, as you can see there. And the Bloody Girl, that is June, or Akane, from the 3rd game. Spoilers. Metal Sonic. This was probably my favorite cosplay that I saw there, was this really cool Metal Sonic. There was also a group picture where Metal Sonic and Robotnik/Eggman and I think there was a couple Shadow the Hedgehogs there. I don't know who the girl is, but yeah, it was really cool cosplay group there. There was Kurama and Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. Sly Cooper, this was also really good cosplay as well. Got to meet Rom from ReZero. She's not as good as Rem, but a very good Rom cosplay. Well done. Got to see Beerus, very good cosplay. I mean, the ears are a little short, but great cosplay there. I got to see a Leon cosplay during the Resident Evil panel. I know I've seen this before, but this gorilla with the robot head of Where Space, I love it. I don't know what it is, I don't know where it's from, but I love it. On Saturday, I got to see, this isn't really cosplay related, but this guy had this anime girl cutout thing. I don't know if it was made out of cardboard or wood or whatever, but good job. So I had to get a picture of it. This was an original character, this owl forest girl thing. So there was like little bird eggs, there's a little owl on her head and all that stuff. Muriel and Eustace from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Such a great job on that mask. It was so good. I got to see Link. Here is Team Aqua, Frankie, Sanji, and Nami. That was during the One Piece panel. Another Vash. This looks like the reboot of Trigun. Here is a Frankie and a girl Zoro. And as I was walking away, that Frankie met up with another Frankie, and then I saw a third Frankie running up, and there was this really great group cosplay of 3 Frankies, as well as a Gear 5 Luffy, a girl Zoro, Robin, and he pulls out a Chopper plushie, and he made a joke of like, oh yeah, well this is my son, I have him on the weekends, Robin has him during the week. It was just so funny. Walking down the hallway, I saw Afro Samurai. I got a great picture of Big Mom. There was also this Magikarp fisherman that was great. A couple Demon Slayer cosplays. I got to see Usopp. This looks like a Star Wars character, and I don't know who the other guy is, but very well done on that. I love the Sonic Popsicle. That was also one of my favorite cosplays there, because it's so creative. You always have like the anime cosplays, but there's always those that go a little step further and have something unique, like a Sonic Popsicle. I love it. There was an inflatable Garfield that was great. There was also a Garfield that was there that was dressed in lingerie, like either like a bathing suit or just a bra and underwear or something. That was hilarious too. But I didn't see that until I saw pictures on Facebook later. This really great Iron Man, lit up, everything, very cool. I got to see Ashido and Toga from My Hero Academia. That was pretty cool. Masks are creepy, but that's kind of what drew me to it, because I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's creepy, but it's cool. And then I got to see Ike from Fire Emblem and I guess Smash Brothers as well. So I guess now it's time to show what I got. So here's my stuff that I got as being a VIP member. So the bag is way better than last year. Last year's bag was really cheaply made, and they ironed on the logo, and the logo was like half peeled off before I even got it. And even got it home. It was bad. So really disappointed there. But this one was a lot better made. That Matsuricon thermos thing there, I actually am using that like while working, so that's pretty nice. There's my room key, my platinum badge. There's a pin, a keychain. There's like the little manual guidebook thing, basically just talking about the events. My only complaint was it had all the guest panels of like Tatum's panels and Tony Oliver's panels and all that stuff, but any other panel, there was no description for that, and that really bugged me because there were so many panels there that I'm like, this sounds like it could be interesting, but it's such a vague description. I have no idea what it is. Like, there was one that's like, how did we get here? I'm like, I don't know what that is. That sounds like it might be interesting, but I don't know what it was because there was no description about it, so I didn't go to it because I'm like, well, I'll go to one of these other panels that I do know what it is instead of this one I have no idea what it is. So I guess that would be a tip for if you're a Matsuricon staff member or whatever watching this. Maybe for next year, just have a better description on some of these other panels of what it is. And then I got this Matsuricon autograph book, which I didn't use, which I guess I could have, but I guess I had enough personal items. I had a complaint there too. So you get one free autograph, and then any additional item you pay, but some voice actors said that only counts for if you get your badge signed and only your badge. Some of them included, well, if it's the autograph book, that's free, or your badge, that's free. Any additional item, personal item, whatever, you'd have to pay for that. But there were some, like Bridget Hoffman, who any autograph, your first autograph is free. So like my Lane picture was free, and I paid extra for Nia, or vice versa. Whereas like Rico, he's like only the badge is free. Everything else you got to pay for. And others are like J. Marco Tatum, for example, was like, yeah, if it's the badge, if it's the autograph book, those are free. So I really wish there was more consistency on what is actually free versus not, because I had to spend a lot of cash and I had to use my card a lot more than I wanted to, just because I was unexpectedly having to pay extra, because I'm like, okay, cool, these are, you get one free autograph. No, no, you don't. So, that's a big complaint I have there. So, I got some figures, obviously. I have no room to put these, unfortunately, but I got, Tokoyami from My Hero Academia. I got Captain Yamamoto from Bleach. I have Ashirpa from Golden Kamui. Albedo from Overlord. I've been looking for that Albedo for a while because I usually find her. She's like in some short dress. I'm like, I don't want some weird skimpy outfit or a bathing suit. I just want her normal dress that she wears in this show. So I was excited to finally find that. And then there was a One Piece mystery grab bag, and I'm like, you know what? That sounds fun. I'm gonna do that. At least I know who the characters would be if I grab it. So I got Nami dressed in her Wano outfit, and Boa Hancock dressed in some kind of like Christmas outfit, which I'm normally not a fan of characters dressed in outfits they didn't wear in the actual show. But I really like this dress. It looks good. It looks classy. So plus Boa Hancock's a really cool character, so I was fine with that. I was happy to at least get one straw hat, and I was happy that that straw hat was dressed in an outfit that she actually wears in the show. Like I said, that is Nami's Wano outfit. And then, of course, you had to get some anime, because it's at an anime convention. Which, that was my other big complaint, was there was only like one real DVD booth. And that was it. There was another guy that had a small selection of anime, but that was it. Like, where's like, usually when I go to an anime convention, there's like 5 DVD booths at least, and only have like one and a half. That's it. It was kind of disappointing, and unfortunately, neither of them negotiated on prices, so I was kind of out of luck on that. But I got some cool stuff. So I got Gungrave, which Boxu gave me in my Boxu box like a year or so ago, and it's a great series, but it took up a lot of room on my shelf. So this was just a way to consolidate that. Same with Future Diary. I have Future Diary already, but mine is the two-part DVD. One of the cases came damaged from Amazon and didn't include the final episode, which is the OVA episode, which is actually the final episode, whereas this Blu-ray includes all 26 episodes plus the OVA, so it's the definitive version of the physical media because it has everything. So I guess I'll sell the Future Diary and Gungrave DVDs at some point. I got Overlord Season 2 because Overlord's a great show. I still need to see Season 4, but I'm waiting on that movie to come out because the movie takes place before Season 4, and Season 4 has been out for a while, but I can't watch Season 4 because the movie's not out yet. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you can watch Season 4 without watching the movie. I'm like, I know, but I want to watch the movie first because it's chronological and all that. Ace Attorney Season 1, which Ace Attorney is based off the Phoenix Wright video game. And this anime does a great adaptation of the video game. So if you want to enjoy the story without playing the game, this is a good one. I know there's a lot of them out there that have a really weak anime adaptation, like Danganronpa, for example. Anime is okay. Game is much better. And I guess the same still applies for Ace Attorney as well, but this is a good adaptation of it. The first season takes place over the first 2 games, and Season 2 takes place with the 3rd game. And then I got Iron Blooded Orphans Complete Series, which was the first Gundam series I ever watched, and I just thought it was great. And so now all the Gundam series I watch, I hold to the standard of Iron Blooded Orphans, of how does this compare to this one? It was okay, or whatever. Yeah, Iron Blooded Orphans is kind of the standard I put to my Gundam series, which, I don't know, maybe you guys thought it was a terrible series, maybe some of you guys thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. so that's why I bought it. And then I also got 2 video games. I mean, I'm a video game channel here. You got to buy some video games at some point, even at an anime convention. If they have them, I'm gonna look. Um, so unfortunately, this guy's stuff was pretty rough and beat up. Like bought from a garage sale, like a smoke-filled garage sale type thing. They were mostly beat up. But I did get Mario's Time Machine on the Super Nintendo, which I know it's not a good game, but it is a Mario game, so I wanted to get it because it was a Mario game. And this Zonox Double Ender, it's an Atari game, but I've never seen these before. And apparently there's a few of these that exist. But I'm like, I gotta get this just because I've never seen it before. It's such a unique design of like a double-ended video game thing here. So you got Spike's Peak and Ghost Manor. So you pop it in your Atari and then you can flip it over to play the other game. It's really interesting. Yeah, so that's the stuff that I got at the convention. So this video ran on a lot longer than I thought it would, but I just wanted to talk about the convention for a little bit, show some footage of um, what it was like to be there, walking around, and cosplay pictures, all that stuff. So yeah, if you were there, awesome. Let me know in the comments below if I took a picture of you. Let me know that as well. Feel free to use those pictures on your Instagram if you think they're good enough. I don't mind. Credit me, I guess, but I don't care that much. But before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Hit the bell so you're notified when another video comes out. This is primarily a video game channel, but we do like anime on this channel. So if you want to see some more mostly video game stuff, subscribe, or possibly another anime convention or anime unboxing video or whatever. Subscribe. I also have an Instagram where I mostly post video game related stuff, which I forget I have until I make a video like this where I'm like, oh, by the way, I have an Instagram. So follow me on there. Hopefully you find something cool on there. Most importantly, I have a Discord where you can join my Discord where we talk about anime, of course, video games, Pokemon, pretty much everything I covered in this video. That's what my Discord is all about. So if that interests you, join the Discord. Just let me know. Just say I want to join the Discord. I'll send you an invite. And there you go. And well, I guess that's all I really have to say. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.